So, our story begins anew, a new life in the Order of Grey Wardens.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kaelan, I didn't expect a
royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other Wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is he?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
There's no need to be so formal, Duncan. We'll be shedding blood together after all. Ho there, friend. Might I know your name?
Ho there, my friend. I might hear it. Or should we go with, I'm no friend of your human lords? No. Now, which is... let's
Pleased to meet
form.
you. The Grey Wardens are desperate to bolster their numbers, and I, for one, am glad to help them. It's good to see one of the honorable stout folk outside Orzammar.
You must have not met many members of the noble caste.
Sounds like there's a story behind that. You must regale me with it sometime.
If your majesty wishes.
I do. I'll make sure to have the finest dwarven brew brought up from the palace cellars. After we've dealt with the blight, of course. I've been to Orzammar. King Endrin invited my father to a grand proving long ago. How does Endrin fare these days? Well, it seems your story may be even more interesting than I suspected. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to Ostagar. The Wardens will benefit greatly with you in their ranks. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different. Overconfident, some would say. Right, Duncan?
Your Majesty, I'm not certain the blight can be ended quite as quickly as you might wish.
I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Yet.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
And that guy is a king.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here. True. Despite the victory so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling. Absolutely. We sent a call to the Grey Wardens of Orlais, and hope they will reach us before the Archdemon does. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Teyrn Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay.
What do you mean?
Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the joining, in order to become a Grey Warden. The ritual is brief, but some preparation is required. We must begin soon. Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Until then, I have business I must attend to. You may find me at the Grey Warden tent on the other side of this bridge, should you need to.
Kinslayer. Blooded. Oh. Goody. Now I'm just going to take a quick trip to the bathroom, and then I shall be back. Now let us continue the story of Peasant 8. Soon to become Grey Warden. Elfruit. Elves, those nasty creatures.
Make a watch over you, my lord. Make a watch over you, my lord.
And I'm off.
Make a watch over you, my lord.
Let's explore the area a bit. We are going to need all the things we can collect, so... I mean, whatever to sell them or use them. Tower of Isha.
The Tower of Ishal is off limits. The men stationed inside are securing it now. I think they used it once to watch for wilders coming out of the forest. By orders of Tairn Loghain. The tower is being secured by his men to be used during battle. I'm told they discovered some lower chambers, and they don't know how far down they go, so for now, everyone's to stay out. I didn't see anything like that when I was there, but who knows? Goes back to the time of the Tevinter Imperium. Dwarven make. That's probably why it's still standing. Make us speed your steps.
It's Dwarven make. Our kin has made it. Well, yeah. Probably unless you find a Dwarven female on the surface. That's the only hope.
Hale, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought.
Yes, yes I am. Royal Enclave.
Greetings. King Kaelan is not in his tent right now? I suppose I do, but it wouldn't be prudent to discuss the King's business with you.
Do you know where the king
I
is?
believe he's with the Grey Wardens in camp, drinking. He holds them in high regard, you know, as his father did. As you wish.
Okay, let's guard.
You approach the tent of Tairn Loghain. State your business. How can you not know of Loghain? He helped free Ferelden. He was the brains behind King Maric's armies and drove out those damned Orlesians. King Maric rewarded him by making him a Tairn. Can you imagine? A commoner became a high nobleman just like that. Without Loghain, you can bet the king wouldn't be winning against these Darkspawn. He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities. Don't be absurd. He can't give an audience to everyone who walks up here, you know? I suppose, as long as we talk quietly. He and the king have been arguing for days. The Tairn's known the king since he was swaddled, so they don't stand on ceremony. The Tairn speaks his mind, and the king yells right back. Personally, I think the king should do what Tairn Loghain tells him. Without the Tairn, we wouldn't be doing as well here as we are. Very well.
Look carefully, men. This wretched thing is a dark.
This is supposed to be the battle that sends these Darkspawn back underground.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Though all blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just.
Well, yeah, maybe.
The last scouting party made it back last night. Barely.
What do you mean?
Only 2 of them made it. And one was
There are lots of Darkspawn, different kinds. We're getting reports of things we've never
My
even
boots
heard
are near
of.
worn out.
Our short friend here, for instance, is something called a genlog. They're pretty common in the Horde, but we've seen others much larger. We don't know where these new Darkspawn are coming from, or what they can do. All I can say is to use caution.
Let's not talk to Duncan just yet.
You there,
Ash Warrior.
If you have business
What's your
with the Ash
name?
Warriors, I suggest you speak to our
It's
commander.
Pick, sir.
Go tell Tairn Loghain that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we
It's good to have Grey Wardens amongst us. With their help, perhaps we can push these things back underground.
Perhaps. Or Elfrood.
Hale, you're one of Duncan's new recruits, correct? I can't let you through to the Korkari Wilds until he gives the word.
Why not?
The Korkari Wilds is a dangerous place. More so now that it crawls with Darkspawn. They say the Great Blight began deep within its forests. One of our scouting patrols has been gone for 3 days. We're taking bets on who got them first, the Darkspawn or the Witches of the Wilds.
Witches of the
Oh,
Wild.
sure. There's an old legend in these parts about Flemeth, the apostate sorceress who conquered this area centuries ago. She united the chastened barbarians and invaded the farmlands. That's when the great hero, Cormac, destroyed her army with his. Took her head right off, so they say. Her daughters survived and became the Witches of the Wild. Tales tell of them plaguing this area since, mostly superstitions, stealing babies and spoiling milk. Only when it's